baby.
Where are you? Help them, please.
Sure, I can help. It's showtime.
With your genius, you could be a tremendous force for good in the world.
Well, that was awkward.
Yes, it was.
That is why I won't do 2 shows a night anymore, babe. I won't.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Steel Sanctuary Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Ribeiro from SteelSanctuary.com. We got our full crew back together. We got Bob Quinn, we got Trent Ging, we got David Corum. Guys, how's it going?
It's going great. I am ready to talk some smack because you guys are lucky I wasn't on the other night.
Bob's got a sore ass from missing the last podcast. You really want to chime in on those. Right, before we get to the duos, I know, Bob, you're anxious, but we got a couple of things. Boy, the Browns keep Brownsing, don't they? Quinshawn Judkins went up and closed fist punched his girlfriend in the face. And God only knows what's going to happen to him now. They're talking about at least a 6-game suspension. Just wow, man.
Yeah.
The suspension is probably the least of it.
Yeah. He's not under contract.
He
has not signed his rookie contract.
Oh, that's yet. Right. Those second round picks are not signing because of the guaranteed contract. I think wide receiver from the Texans got right.
That throws a wrench into things. I think a little bit because now if you're the Browns, what do? Do you make an adjustment to that rookie contract because of this? I know there's only so much like wiggle room to these things, but like,
right?
You know,
wow.
Starting out with 6-game suspension, most likely. But the last guy who did this also played for the Browns, right? And he got 5.
Yeah,
I mean, is that right?
So. Yeah.
It's pretty hard to imagine that. The NFL would. It just really depends on where it goes criminally. I mean, honestly, if it looks like he's going to be, criminal, he could find himself with Isaiah Bond type of heat where, hey, nobody wants to. Hey, you didn't want to sign your contract, dumbass. Yeah, now we're not signing a contract. It's withdrawn. Although I think there's rules in the collective bargaining where they have to offer it to him.
Now, this is all allegedly. He hasn't been convicted of anything, but he could conceivably do jail time, which would wipe 6 games off. He could be in jail for a year or so. So, right, it's possible. It's just a bad look. And he is an Ohio State player, and we have an Ohio State fan in our midst.
Listen,
he's sitting well with him either.
I'll be honest with you. I kept telling everybody if you're going to draft a running back, get Travion Henderson.
See, I like Judkins better, and
well, Judkins likes to hit people in the mouth. Just the wrong people.
Yep.
Literally.
The right people and the wrong people, I guess. Garrett Wilson, 4 years, $130 million. Signed, I guess it's today. Guys, wide receivers are becoming expensive. The Steelers need to start drafting wide receivers again and stockpiling because this is insane.
Or at those prices, do what they did with DK Metcalf. Hey, if I'm going to pay this, I'm going to pay this for a guy who's starting a second contract, or really, I guess, kind of maybe a third. I think they signed him for a short, little extension, like we did with Deontay. Hey, would you rather pay DK, who's think about it. We would have had to give George Pickens this kind of contract. Would you rather pay DK or would you rather pay him? And based on that, DK was kind of a bargain.
But you're forgetting all the free years and the cheap years that the Seahawks had with DK. That's the problem. That's all that you're missing out on, and you're not giving up high value draft picks to acquire those kind of players. So I get where you're coming from. You wait and let the other team develop them, and then you come in. That's not always easy either. But man, to me, you got to stop drafting these guys. Because
I think at least from the Steelers' perspective, it makes the DK contract look really favorable. I mean, these receivers are starting to get big money, and then I know everybody was kind of talking about DK getting this big money. TJ doesn't have it yet, but at the same time, if you're talking about the wide receiver market right now, this DK Metcalf trade or the deal, maybe not necessarily the trade, actually starting to look pretty favorable, in my opinion. I mean, you got guys pushing over $40 million and he's at 30. I mean, it's a pretty good deal for us.
Yeah, you make a good point. I mean, and this is what the Steelers are doing wrong with TJ. If you do it first, and so, the Steelers got DK locked up early, so now all these contracts now go off his. But now they've waited so long with TJ, almost everyone signed. So it's backfire in that sense. They got to sign. Well, it's too late now. They're going to pay.
Yeah,
they
should have set the market before somebody else did.
Yes,
and that's the big issue.
If your plan is to sign TJ all along, then get it done early. The longer you wait, the worse it gets.
Yep.
I really is at it early here. Trade DK for Braxton Berry.
Yeah.
We do need a few more slot receivers thrown in here.
I mean, we don't have enough useless slot receivers on this team.
I mean, do you feel like this is going to course correct like the running back market did at some point, though? I mean, this receiver market is getting out of control.
It really is.
Is Garrett Wilson and CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson, are they that? And Jamar Chase, he's got another monster contract. Are they that much better than the next crop of receivers?
Apparently.
The top 5 to 7 really kind of are. I mean,
but the problem is the rest of the wide receiver market is following those top 5 to 7. It's almost doing the same thing that the quarterback market's doing right now.
Yeah.
The Cowboys had to fork out a truckload for Dak Prescott, who half of Dallas doesn't even want.
Yep.
So, the receiver market's doing the same thing. At some point, this is not – I mean, wide receiver is, of course, a premium position, but it's not the quarterback position. I feel like the contracts are getting out of hand, and I feel like you're paying way more for guys that are so reliant on having the right quarterback to win games. I think teams are going to start to course correct eventually.
Well, it's getting like that with a bunch of positions. I mean, look what we're getting ready to pay TJ Watt. I mean, that's about 10 years ago, that was top of the line quarterback money.
Yep.
Now we're paying, an edge that. I mean, dude, it's insane.
The cap's going up, so that the contracts are going up. But
I
feel like wide receiver is exploding more than the other ones. I mean, it's wild now.
Yeah, Richard brings up a good point here. Who's the last great wide receiver to win a Super Bowl? I would argue Tyreek Hill. You could make an argument for AJ Brown. Relic says Cooper Kupp. I have a problem with calling Cooper Kupp a great wide receiver.
He was coming off a great season.
He had a great year.
He was coming off a great season.
Yeah, maybe one of the best years a wide receiver has ever had, but he's kind of a one-hit wonder.
Well, it's kind of skewed because the Chiefs and Patriots have won the last few Super Bowls, and they had all-world quarterbacks that didn't need top-of-the-line receivers. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of skewed on wide receivers in the Super Bowl, I think. You could throw Antonio Brown in there. He won one with Tampa Bay.
He wasn't a great receiver at the time.
Yeah, and he was their third wide receiver. I mean, he's behind Evans and Godwin.
Yeah, for sure. But
we
still
need
made his contributions on that run.
Yeah, we need a bunch of slot wide receivers. I'm going to trash AB here when we get to duos, but I mean, I would still take him as I would still take him as the third wide receiver in this room.
In which group?
In this room today. I would sign him right now.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Certainly take him over Deontay fucking Johnson, I'll tell you that.
I think we're about to have our first Bob Dave debate of the day. Probably.
No, well, listen, I'm not going to.
Just imagine.
No.
Brown versus, oh, God.
I like it. Antonio Brown. I love Antonio Brown. So I'm not going to argue with Bob about that. I don't. Is he better than Deontay right now? You can't even he's not even in the country right now.
I'd say I'd say definitively yes, because Deontay was trash last year.
Yeah, Deontay's just a mess mentally.
They're both a mess. Neither of them can get on the goddamn field right now.
At least one guy was great at one time. I don't think you can make the argument Deontay was ever great.
I mean, Deontay, they said, "Hey, go get on the field." He said, "No, I'm good, bro. It's cold." I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah,
and
they
like,
both.
you know,
tried.
and like we said, Brown's in a different country right now, hiding from the law. I mean, like, just
Yeah.
All right,
Amazing.
speaking of trading for wide receivers, Juwan Jennings from the 49ers said either pay me or trade me today to the 49ers. So that's a situation that Bears watching. He fits right in with what the Steelers like. He blocks. He's a good receiver. You know, he's got Steeler written all over him.
I liked how he stepped up when Ayuk was out and they had
Yeah.
several injuries. I mean, he had almost 1,000 yards receiving and had 6 touchdowns. I mean, you go from a guy out of nowhere doing that. That's pretty good.
The thing I'd caution with Jennings is he's an average athlete, you know, in a great system over there in San Francisco. If he comes to Pittsburgh, can he replicate those numbers without, you know, the Shanahan offense helping him out? I don't know. He's never caught 100 balls. He's good, but I don't know what kind of contract he's looking for. Is he looking to get paid, you know, high 20s, 30, and forget it?
Well, we've got 3 great tight ends now, so everybody's gonna worry about them. We can throw him the ball. It's gonna be great.
Well, I mean, okay, in a vacuum, Juwan Jennings is wide receiver 2 with DK Metcalf, and then our never-ending short supply of slot wide receivers actually makes some sense. But I am not interested, and if I was Omar Khan, I would tell John Lynch to go fuck himself if he called me, because I'm not interested in helping them negotiate with Juwan Jennings.
It's a good point.
He is. So, like, Jennings is interesting because he fits a lot of what Arthur Smith wants to do, but I'm not totally convinced he's actually what we need. I still feel like we need a guy who can win off the line of scrimmage quickly. We don't really have that. I don't think you're going to count on Calvin Austin for that. And, I mean, we don't have any idea what Roman Wilson truly is. He's got like 8 snaps in the NFL under his belt. Jennings isn't like a win off the line kind of guy. He's a big, powerful guy who, I think if you're comparing him to the Gabe Davises of the world, I would take Jennings in a heartbeat. The other side of the coin is now, because he's coming off of almost 1,000-yard season and 6 touchdowns, what's his trade market going to be like?
Yeah. Relic's on one tonight. He's all over me.
Sign him for 2 years, trade him in 1.
We're 12 minutes in, Relic's up and down my ass already.
I mean, I get it. Like I said, in a vacuum, he can fit. I think Trent's right. He would be, you know, a really good option.
It's an upgrade. There's no doubt.
But after the way San Francisco jerked us around last time, no, fuck no.
Now, let me ask you a question. Can Brandon Ayuk be had on the cheap now?
Why would you want him? He's coming off that leg injury.
I was reading today that he's ahead of schedule and he's a possibility for week 1. He's not going to go on PUP. He's going to be in training camp and he may play week 1. That's the latest update. So
I didn't hear
that changes things for me a little bit, because the last time I read it, when I talked to you guys about this about a month ago, they were thinking 6 weeks he might miss in the season. So if they choose to pay Jennings,
I was going to say, can they afford that Ayuk's contract?
The Steelers, they'd have to move some money around, for sure.
Yeah, I would say so. While on top of trying to pay TJ, I don't know.
You could make it work. We keep talking.
I love your positivity, Dave.
Well,
make it work.
They can make TJ Watt's cap hit this year go down.
Yes,
and backload it, so they can afford this. Whether or not they want to is another question.
That's a good point too.
I mean, Ayuk is the receiver that Trent's talking about that can win quickly off the line of scrimmage. He's the perfect fit for the Steelers right now. He would be the guy.
And he is a stud blocker, and he is an effort guy, and he's a guy who shows up all over the film. I mean, he would be a perfect complement to DK Metcalf. I think if I was going to try to make a trade between the 2 San Francisco guys, it's easily going after Ayuk, even with the injury, because he is just a totally different receiver from DK. And Aaron Rodgers is going to treat him exactly like Devontae Adams, because he can win off the line in a split second. that he would be Aaron Rodgers. I'd be willing to bet if he was 100% healthy, he would have more targets than DK Metcalf because of the way he and Aaron Rodgers would connect.
Yep. I agree with that.
The only problem is that injury would scare me, and you got to pay Ayuk now $30 million plus a year.
Yeah.
So
yeah, his contract's starting to look like a bargain too now with all these other guys getting paid. I don't know if you want to spend. What are you looking at? Over $60 million on wide receiver, but if you're all in, like they keep telling us, I bet it wouldn't cost you more than a fourth.
I would do it for a fourth.
If you have to eat that whole contract
in a heartbeat,
I bet you could do it.
I wouldn't even flinch.
Yeah,
I might do it for third.
Maybe at the trade deadline, once you've seen him play a little bit.
That's a good point too. You can wait and see. But if you wait, maybe they've worked out the deal with Jennings and then they don't want to trade.
Yeah, but let's be honest. If you could get Dobbs or Wicks for less as far as contract wise, now you're probably going to have to pay one of those guys like a little more. I'd rather have the guys who are going into who aren't coming off of injuries, because let's face it, neither one of them have done anything to lose a job in Green Bay. It's just we think Gildon is that much better, and he's just going to surpass them, and they just don't have room for all those guys.
That's interesting, because it's going to cost you, say, Romeo Dobbs. It's going to cost you more in draft compensation to get him, I would think.
Yeah.
I would give up one of the thirds for him, no problem.
The Dobbs?
Yeah. How far away is Dobbs from needing a contract, too? It's going to be his third season, right?
This is his third, I think.
I think we're
third coming up.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And he wasn't a first-round pick.
No, he was like a fourth-round pick.
So you don't get a fifth-year option. So next year will be his last year. He's up for a contract extension next year.
I'll be honest with you. If we think we're sold on quarterback in round one next year, if you can get DK Metcalf and Brandon Ayuk for a rookie quarterback to throw to, you've already got Pat Freiermuth. You have, it's basically two good receiving options at tight end. That's a pretty darn good spot for a rookie quarterback to come into. Be the first time we've had a good spot for a rookie quarterback to come into.
You could say that again. I can't believe I'm doing this again, but because I swore I would never with Brandon Ayuk anymore after the way they got jerked around. But I might make the call. Look, you have a wide receiver trouble. What do you want for Ayuk?
Yeah, but they really jerked us the fuck around last year.
They did.
I mean,
they did.
I don't know. To me, that's bad business what they did last year, and I wouldn't want anything to do with them. To be honest, it's tempting. It's tempting, but like, dude, what they did last year, them and fucking Ayuk, they both played their little fucking games. I'd be moving on from that. I wouldn't even.
Omar can say, "I finally got my guy." See, it wasn't a waste of time.
Yeah, but see,
I laid the groundwork for my guy.
I'd rather target Green Bay's guys. They got a plethora of wide receivers to go after, and I think that you might be able to get one of them and not to give up a lot.
Yeah, but even wasn't it Zach that told us, and it might be true that one of those guys, the second wide receiver they took, they're going to use him as a running back / do it all type guys, not even really a wide receiver.
Savion Williams.
So then you just got the 5. They could keep those 5 easy. They could keep all 6 easy.
Good.
Just move them around and wait till next year. I mean, so I think the more I think about it, I think Ayuk can be had. So, and then you just got to decide whether you want to spend that kind of money and a little bit of risk with the injury.
I'm hesitant. That kind of money on a guy coming off that kind of injury,
that's why it only costs you maybe a
on
fourth,
top of dealing with them. I'd stay away from it.
Well, the team doctors would have to get involved in a deal like that before you actually pull the trigger. But I would think it's setting you up as a franchise with a rookie quarterback. And then what do you think the Super Bowl odds are going to do if we have Brandon Ayuk, DK Metcalf, Pat Freiermuth? We just brought in, another tight end into the room. You've got
Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu Smith. You got 2
Caleb Johnson,
decent running backs. I'm
getting excited. Let's do it.
I think that would move the needle. If you're talking about moves that move the needle, that's a move the needle type move.
Yeah, I'm afraid of Ayuk Jennings is nice, but honestly, if I'm going to trade for a San Francisco wide receiver, I want the kid. I want the kid from Florida, Ricky.
Ricky Pearsall.
Oh, Pearsall, yeah.
I want him. He's fast.
They're not. That's the one
long.
they're definitely not trading though, because he's young and cheap. They're
Yeah, and
trading him.
I tell him if you're not trading him, then we're not interested. And then if they say, wait, Johnson fourth right now, yes or no? Okay, good. Yeah, fourth, yes, now. And if you don't put the paperwork into the office right now while I'm on the phone,
you'd have to do something like that. Yeah. I wouldn't make it a long, drawn out negotiation like last time. It's this is the deal. Take it or leave it, and walk away.
Yeah, if I was Omar, I'd stay on the phone. Look, we want a fourth. Can you make it a third instead? All right, stay on the phone. Do it in. Put it into the league office. And yes, it's good. Don't you want to talk to Jennings? Is he under contract? Fuck no. We'll take care of it when he gets here. But none of this. Oh, he really wanted to be.
Ayuk and Metcalf together, boy. That's the best wide receiver combo we've had.
Look, did anybody see? Did anybody see the rumored trade? And I think it was just somebody on the internet making it up. T.J. Watt for McLaurin in a third.
That's still a pony.
Yeah. We talked about it on the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, McLaurin is a number one wide receiver. He's a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL. I think you got to do that deal.
I don't think so. He's also almost 30. How old is he?
He's 31, I think.
Yep. Yeah. With Dave, that's it.
I'm out.
You hit that 30 mark, Dave's done with you.
I'd sign him as a free agent because I still think he's got a year or two good years left in him. But to trade TJ Watt for him, no. If I'm trading TJ Watt, I want a 25-year-old.
He's 29. He's only played 5 seasons. He was older when he came out. 6 seasons. I'm sorry.
He's 29. All right. Well, yeah. I still wouldn't trade TJ for him though.
And bear in mind, with the shit show before Jaden Daniels, 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, 80.
Terry McLaurin's good. Terry McLaurin's good.
He is.
He's a legit number one. Actually, he would be the number one, and I think DK would be the number 2.
So you do it.
Only because of how watched. Now, I'm on record, and I reiterated this kind of over my X account over the weekend. I would do TJ. Fuck you, NFL. 2 years, $50 million a year.
Yeah, we know your contract.
Guaranteed.
Yes.
Yeah. You know why? Because we think he's going to be really good for the next 2 years. We get worried in year 3. So, TJ, we're not going to screw around with you. We're going to make you by far the highest paid edge rusher. We're going to give you 2 years. And then in 3 years, if you're still doing good, we're going to renegotiate, but you're going to give us team-friendly terms. How you want to make $10 million more than Myles Garrett? And I saw some Cleveland fans, but he's double teaming. And I was like, so the NFL's complicit in letting TJ rack up better stats because he plays on the other side and they don't bother to block him. I mean, come on, Cleveland. How stupid do you have to be? And it doesn't wreck our cap.
It's a rhetorical question, right?
Yeah, it doesn't wreck our cap. Next year, we're paying a rookie quarterback. We can afford it. We can afford it for the next 2 years. It doesn't wreck us. So, hey, thanks, TJ. Great job. 2 years, $100 million. If he doesn't want to do it and he says, no, I want 3 or 4 years, okay, then you could have $35 million a year for 4 years. You don't want it? Okay. Good luck playing in fucking Washington.
For me, the only way I'm giving up TJ is I'm going to get another first-round pick for next year's draft to help me get my franchise QB. That's the only way I'm giving him up. If you don't start off with a first-round pick with me for next season, I'm not interested.
I don't think you get a first-round pick, but I think you can get an all-pro player in return.
It's debatable. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But the only way I'm doing it is if I get one.
We've talked about this in the past, and even the last episode. If you're a contending team, like we brought up a million times, Detroit, Green Bay, someone like that, the Rams maybe, they're giving up a first-round pick for TJ Watt because he's going to put him over the top. You're not going to get a top-end, first-round pick from one of the other teams. But if you're close to contending, who wouldn't want TJ Watt for the next 2 years?
Right.
Well, the Detroit stuff, though, they got to pay Aiden Hutchinson. They can't afford both.
They could probably afford both. I mean, who else are they paying?
He's still on his rookie contract, though, right?
Yeah.
No,
right.
They're negotiating his contract right now.
Oh, yeah. Are they? Okay.
But he's still on his rookie deal. I mean, who else are they paying? They're not paying.
Well,
the quarterback
he's in what year?
Monroe, St. Brown, N.A. Sewell, They got some guys.
They got some
you gotta
guys.
pay.
Yeah,
They're tied up in the trenches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet they could still afford it. But I don't know. I haven't taken a look at
Green
that
Bay, I would think could maybe afford it. But if you're trading with Green Bay, don't you want to get the wide receivers back?
one. No, if you're trading TJ Watt, you're kissing the season goodbye.
They don't have a wide receiver I would take for TJ Watt right now.
I'd rather have the first round pick.
Give me
No,
one of them
not
and a
straight up.
first-round pick.
Yeah.
Give me both.
Yeah.
If you're trading for TJ, you're going in knowing you got to pay him $41 million. If you're lucky and get a first, you're not getting much more than a first. If you're expecting a haul, I just don't see very many teams who'd be willing to do it.
I don't see a haul.
What he deserves and what you'll get are two different things.
Yeah, no doubt. But I still think you can squeeze a first out of somebody if you really wanted to. The Vikings, they
I
give
don't
you a
think
first.
they would.
You find a team desperate enough for a pass rush, I think they would.
TJ Watt, I mean, just close your eyes and say, all right, Buffalo, take him for a first round pick.
I think you at worst get the first round pick or the player. Maybe to Bob's point, you're not going to get both. You're not going to get a player and a first.
Now, if you're willing to talk to KC and Buffalo, yeah, maybe you could. But Buffalo's got 12 guys on the roster right now who are edge and defensive linemen. So I don't know. I think they're going with the Philly strategy of, hey, I'd rather have volume and rotate a bunch of fresh bodies.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, you trade them to either one of them, you're almost guaranteeing the Super Bowl. So
Yeah,
you
that's a good point.
you get the 32nd pick in the draft.
But you
Especially
can use
if you
that
trade him to KC.
You can use that
That'd be-
32nd and yours to trade up. That's the point. It's just another first round pick to get you
Maybe.
up to get the quarterback you want. It's more ammunition, you know?
Yeah, I'd say keep him. Look, if you're going all in, keep him. Just don't fuck around. Pay him.
Yeah.
Say, because if you
This is
publicize you offered him $10 million more than Myles Garrett and he says no, now who's the asshole? It's TJ.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this on the last pod. Something's up. This is going to get messy, in my opinion. I think TJ's dug his heels in. He said, I gave you guys a break last time. You're not getting that same break this time. And the Steelers are like thinking in their minds, we're not paying you top of the market edge rushers. So they're clashing right now. And it's going to be very interesting how this thing plays out.
If you believe Florio, I think it really stuck in TJ's craw the last time where they played the it's a privilege for you to be, you're lucky to be a Steeler. And he took the deal at a discount. And then his reward for that is instead of renegotiating and tearing it up early, is now we're not in another contract dispute. So
If that's even true, they said that.
Yeah.
That is so stupid to say that to TJ Watt. Like, wow.
yeah, Florio's been reporting it since way back when in that contract. That's not a new thing. He's been saying that for the last 3 or 4 years.
What, they told him the whole, you're lucky to be a Steeler?
Yeah.
I never heard that. I just heard that recently with Aditi King Kabbalah. Shocker.
Yeah. Yeah, Florio reported that back in the last contract negotiation, but it didn't matter because TJ walked in and said, enough fucking around. I'm not arguing over
I do
$12
remember
million.
that, but
Yeah.
I don't remember them saying that they told me he was lucky to be a Steeler. I don't remember that at all.
Okay, Relic. I mean, yes, in a heartbeat, but come on. You know Buffalo ain't doing that.
No.
All right, so we ready to talk duos?
I can't hear Dave. Dave, you're can't hear you.
See what you did, Relic? You muted Dave.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I can hear you now.
Okay, I don't know what happened there. All right, let's do duos before Bob jumps out of his seat and attacks us all. We did comparisons last week, one-on-one, and we decided to raise the stakes a little bit this week and compare duos.
Per people's request. People requested.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So the first duo we're going to do tonight is wide receiver. Lynn Swann and John Stallworth versus Hines Ward and Randall L. versus Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant. Who wants to go first? Bob, you've been chomping at the bit. Let's go.
Okay. Well, it's Swann and Stallworth. It's two Hall of Famers. Stallworth was the leading Steelers receiver for a long time. I still think Stallworth is the best receiver in history. And if you don't think so, he got 1,000 yards with Mark fucking Malone as his quarterback. In the 80s, when they only threw the ball 20 times a game. Stallworth was smooth. You know, you talk about clutch in the big games. The catch he made when they were down 19-17 when Bradshaw hit him, that was a tough catch. He caught the ball straight on running, looking up at the sky to find the ball. It was a great catch. So, yeah, I mean, if I was ranking those, Swann and Stallworth have to be number one because of the Hall of Fame. I go Hines and Randall L next. Super Bowl MVP. Hines Ward should be in the Hall of Fame. Randall L was a great quarterback or acting quarterback in the Super Bowl. He's also a pretty reliable second wide receiver. He had a nice career for the Steelers. And look,
what is going on here, fellas?
Yeah, you could.
This guy's got water, Randall L too.
Yeah, you could say all this stuff about how Antonio Brown, and it's starting to really stick in my craw about this great 6 years that Antonio Brown had. So Antonio Brown there in that 6-year stretch, which was great. I'm not saying it wasn't. 686 catches, 8,145 yards, 67 touchdowns. Pretty good. Same time, another wide receiver, same 6-year period. 623 catches, 9,388 yards, almost 1,200 yards more, only 37 touchdowns. And then one just a tiny bit later, 635 catches, a little short on the Brown, but over 6 years, that's 5-6 catches a year. 7,970 yards, basically the same. 69 touchdowns, more than AB had. That 6-year stretch is not as unique as people give him credit for. You know who those other two
receivers? Sorry.
Julio Jones and Devontae Adams. Okay.
Yeah, but they both came up short in certain stats because Antonio Brown was the best. Period.
Adams had more touchdowns in basically the same yards.
Okay, don't say basically.
Okay, over 6 years to be 50 catches short is less than 5 or 6 catches per year. Julio Jones outgained him by 1,200 yards. I mean, it's not as unique as you think. It's not far and away. It's not that, hey, this is the best ever for 6 years. Because I got news for you. I didn't go back and do Randy Moss, but I bet you if I took 6 years of Randy Moss's career, it'd compare pretty fucking favorably. I'm not saying he wasn't great. I'm not saying he's probably not individually maybe the best Steelers wide receiver. And I'd still take Stallworth over him. He's probably second over Hines just by talent, but I'd rather have Hines on my team. But you're pairing him with Martavis Bryant, who got ran out of the league for drug testing in 3 years. I mean,
hey, I'm gonna go next because I am with Bob on here. I did pick Swann and Stallworth. I did too. Basically, this is duos. So I mean, if you wanted to argue one-on-one, like say Stallworth versus Swann versus Ward versus Brown, sure. However, this is duos. And we attached Randall L to Ward, and you attached Martavis Bryant to Brown. Look, if you're looking at careers here, Martavis Bryant and Randall L couldn't hold Swann's jockstrap or fucking Stallworth, for that matter, if we're being honest. Like, when you look at the stats, the average of wide receiver in the NFL in the 70s, in a season, they only averaged like 600 to 800 yards in a season. That's it. And both those guys accomplished that easily 6, 7, 8 times in their career. As opposed to Martavis Bryant, I don't think he ever did. And Randall L didn't either. Martavis Bryant, I think in one season came close. But he only played 4 seasons. Like, to me, because it's duos, I mean, like I said, you're two guys there in Randall L and Martavis Bryant. They can't even touch Swann or Stallworth. And for that reason is why I took them. Also, another thing, talk about clutch. Stallworth and Swann combined in the playoffs for like 20 or 21 combined touchdowns in the playoffs. To Ward and Randall's I think it was like 12 or 13, and Brown and Bryant's only like 12 or 13. I mean, they were head and shoulders more involved in making clutch touchdowns in the playoffs than those guys were. It's a big reason why they won so many Super Bowl rings, because in the playoffs, those guys showed the fuck up, man. and that's why I also went with Stallworth and Lynn Swann.
Yeah,
rank them 1, 2, 3.
Can't. I have to really look at this.
Well,
Off the top of your head,
just from my
it's
perspective,
it's not just a stat thing.
well, I'm
It's-
sorry, but Randall L was you're way underselling Randall L.
Well, wait, which one 3 you want me to rank?
The
duos,
wide receiver
the duos.
groups, not all 6.
Okay.
Just the duo groups.
So, yeah, Swann, Stallworth, and then I had to go with man. I guess I go with Brown and Bryant because I think Bryant was more talented than Randall L.
But Randall L
there's no
had
question.
a far better career.
Yeah, that's a good way to.
I guess it's 2 arguments. Are we
That's a
talking
good-
about career
I think-
accomplishments or
I think
talent?
Bob nailed it. That's the best way to put it. Randall L had the better career, but talent-wise, you saw it. Like you saw how talented Bryant was.
Yeah.
It's one of the things. I mean,
Don't
and
throw
you could
shade
even,
on Bryant.
And you could even
Don't
argue
do it.
Randall L was clutch when they needed him in the playoffs too. That pass to Ward. I mean, all the gadget.
I mean, he got a lot of mileage out
He
of that
was
pass,
mostly a
and-
gadget play kind of
that's
guy.
all he was. That's
but-
all he
No,
was.
he was a really good
punt
second
returner.
wide receiver.
He was, like I said, he was more of a gadget guy to me. It's tough to go second and third. I mean, because you got Brown and Ward, and they're right there with each other. And then you bring in Bryant and Randall, and it's like, I don't know.
One guy won
Go
a
ahead,
Super
Trent.
Bowl
I'm going to go
MVP.
last on this one.
All right, so I'm going to agree with the first 2 guys here. It's Stallworth and Swann, the 2 Hall of Fames
Damn.
alone. You can't turn away from that. So something I found interesting. So Swann and Stallworth combined 14,185 yards. Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant 14,474 in a much more pass-heavy league.
But
So
a lot less
taking that
games.
into consideration, a lot less games, but
How many games?
Swann and Stallworth had 114 combined touchdowns, which topped both of the other groups on this list.
That does.
And so those 2 have to be the first group.
You
The
say
thing I
have to
found-
be. Dave feels different, but go ahead.
So the thing that I found
It's not my turn
interesting,
yet.
if we look at the next 2 groups, Ward and Randall L, 16,550 combined yards, far outpaced. They had 2,000, almost 2,100 more yards than Brown and Bryant. Again, the game totals are a little differently there, but they actually were dead even at 100 touchdowns each for the next 2 groups. So the thing that I think is interesting is the yardage is pretty far away. But out of all of the All-Pros, Antonio Brown by himself had more All-Pros than the other 2 groups combined, which is pretty
Preach to
interesting.
him. Trent.
Pretty
Preach
good.
to him.
Pretty good.
So
Tell him.
if you talk about the potential of Martavis Bryant and how short his career got cut, the fact that they were even remotely close to Ward and Randall L, I feel like you have to put Bryant and Brown as the second group because you should have seen a lot more out of him, and Bryant was his own worst enemy.
If he plays in this era, and he doesn't feel any marijuana things, he goes off. It was a stupid rule. He was a stupid guy for failing tests because they would always say, if you failed a drug test in the NFL, you're a moron. Because the first one they would tell you, it's coming. But
Yeah.
Go ahead, finish up, Trent.
I just think that, it's. I personally think Antonio Brown's probably in the top 5 receivers of all time. He's carrying Martavis Bryant on this list, but I'm going to put Brown and Bryant right behind Stallworth and Swann, and then I'm going to put Ward and Randall L as the third group.
I saw Relic in the chat say Randall L was a gadget player. So was Martavis Bryant. He was a gadget player. He was a go route guy, and that was it. He was a go route guy. That's all he was.
So you're saying he was a one?
He caught crossers too, and he took a couple crosses to the house. He wasn't
I thought he'd take a couple. I don't know if I could say he's a gadget. Not like Randall L. Like Randall L was definitely a gadget guy.
Yeah, because he was a quarterback. He was a converted quarterback, so they used him more.
Exactly. You made my point. Thank you, Bob.
And bear in mind, when you start talking about this great 6-year stretch for Antonio Brown, which I just
He's
kind of
back
debunked
on
that a
the
little bit,
6-year stretch.
I'm going to point out that Heinz Ward's best years were before Ben Roethlisberger was drafted. He plays his whole career with Ben. I guarantee you he puts up the AB numbers.
No. But anyway.
Really?
Well, he might have because he played longer. He played a lot longer. So
he put up 112 receptions and 1,300 yards with Cordell Stewart and Tommy Maddox in 200002.
Tommy Gunn, baby.
Tommy Maddox is pretty good.
With Tommy Gunn.
That wasn't
Tommy Maddox
Maddox's full season, though. He took over halfway through. So he didn't play with a good quarterback till he was old. And then he had some nice years.
All right, we're going kind of long on this. We're up 40 minutes. We still got 3 to go. But the clear answer is Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant. There's not even a debate. And now we want to talk about...
Over Swann and Stallworth?
Yeah, 100%. Talent. Brown and
talent-wise, the 2 Hall of Famers. Those guys sucked.
I get it. I'm not saying they sucked. Just because I say I like mine doesn't mean I'm saying the other ones suck, Bob. You are.
Martavis Bryant wasn't a pimple on the ass of Lindsay.
Oh, my God.
Oh, shit.
But Antonio Brown was that much better than both of them.
No, he was not better than Stallworth. He was. He just wasn't. He wasn't.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
I let you talk.
Sorry.
Tune in next week when we finish the last 3 positions.
If you're talking about career stats and stat compilers and all that crap, then sure, put Antoine Randall and Heinz Ward first. They're the best because they stuck around the longest and globbed on stats. But you're talking pure, talented wide receiver duo. There was no more dangerous duo in Steelers history than Martavis Bryant and Antonio Brown. At their peaks. I'm going to keep bringing that word up, peak. At their peaks, there was no better. Antoine
in
Randall
the whole
didn't
4-year career of Martavis Bryant, but go ahead.
Listen, Antoine Randall didn't even have 500. His best year was 600 yards receiving for the Steelers. He was just a gadget guy. They're third by a fucking mile and a half. They shouldn't even be in the conversation, those two. It's between Stallworth and Swann and Bryant and Brown. Look, I love Swann and Stallworth. 4 Super Bowls. We know all the Super Bowl catches and everything. They were very, very good. Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant were better. Moving on.
Close. You weren't even close. By the way, Mr.
If you thought that took long,
Mr. Gadget player Martavis Bryant, Mr. Gadget player, his best year for the Steelers was 700 yards. But, extra 100
21 yards of reception and 8 touchdowns. That's all. 21 yards of reception for an entire season.
Yeah, that season he had 549 yards. I'm pretty sure Lima Swede averaged like 30 yards a catch 1 year.
Come on.
He only played one game.
Jesus.
Get out of here with that.
Now we're dragging up Lima Swede.
All right. Outside linebacker duos. Let's keep this moving because we're going to be here for a while. Get comfortable, boys. TJ and Alex Highsmith versus Kevin Green and Greg Lloyd versus James Harrison and Lamar Woodley. This one's tough. I have a soft spot in my heart for Green and Lloyd. I'm going to tell you.
Is it tough? Is it tough?
I'm talking to TJ Watt boys here. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I like this.
Trent, go ahead.
I'm not going TJ Watt at all.
Oh, okay.
It is Kevin Green and Greg Lloyd all the way.
Oh, all right.
16 combined interceptions, 214 and a half sacks, 464 tackles, 58 forced fumbles, which was a fucking landslide, by the way. Like, that was a landslide. And I'm doing career numbers. It's not just the Pittsburgh Steelers numbers, but Kevin Green obviously carries a lot because he played for such a long time. He had like 160 sacks by himself, which, by the way, clears both the other duos combined. Yeah. So, and then, I know Bob thinks, Lloyd should be a fringe Hall of Famer at worst.
Yeah.
So, look, I don't think it's that close. So, 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 Harrison and Woodley, I mean, you got 13 interceptions between those guys, 142 and a half sacks, 812 tackles, which way more tackles than anybody else on the list, 43 forced fumbles. TJ and Alex, 10 interceptions, 143 and a half sacks, 507 tackles, and 42 forced fumbles. So second, I'm going TJ and Alex just because they've played a lot less, and their stats are right there with Harrison and Woodley. But I think the runaway on this is easily Green and Lloyd.
I thank you, Trent. You did everything for me. Thank you. All the stats. Also, out of all three duos, this is the only duo where both of them won Defensive Player of the Year in Green and Lloyd. The other ones did not both out of that duo do it. To my ranking, it would be Lloyd and Green, and then I would go Harrison and Woodley because we're doing duos. I know that might shock you, Dave, since we argued heavily over Watford. But again, I told you, this is duos. This is different. Duos play different. You got that second guy, and I'm sorry, I pick Woodley over Alex Highsmith. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and going off duos now. Pick Harrison and Woodley as second.
Bob?
This was really tough for me because Greg Lloyd, outside of the 70s Steelers, Jack Lambert is probably my favorite Steelers player of all time. Lambert's first, but Lloyd is a very close second. I love great linebacker play, and I want to say Lloyd and Green. I really want to say Lloyd and Green, but I'm going to say Harrison and Woodley, and here's why. Those two guys combined in the playoffs, Woodley is the best sack per game player in the history of the playoffs. That's not the Steelers. That's period. He averaged more than a sack a game. And I'm sorry, I heard the argument about how James Harrison won several playoff games for the Steelers. It wasn't one. He didn't have one big game. He had a lot of big games. So I would probably, if I was going career, I'm probably going Lloyd and Green. If I'm going for, hey, I got to march through the playoffs, it's Harrison and Woodley, because as great as Green and Lloyd were, they only did it 1 year for the Steelers to get them to the Super Bowl. They played together 2 or 3 years. It seems like longer, but it really wasn't. And I'm sorry, but TJ and Alex have won fuck all, and they don't get in my top 5, top 3, top anything until they win a playoff game. I like him. TJ Watt's going to the Hall of Fame. He's not a top 5 defensive Steeler. Sorry, he's not. Win a playoff game, you get in the top 5. Until then, no.
Well, real quick, to Relic's whole modern dominance likely still ascending. Watt's on the other side of 30 now, and Highsmith, as I said last podcast, he's going downward in production, not upward. So he's not ascending. He's actually going down. That was why last week I picked Woodley over him. So I don't know if I can exactly say they're ascending, but yeah.
Yeah. I feel a little dirty, but I agree with Bob. we usually disagree on everything, but
I think you put Lloyd second. I really did.
I do as well. I think you put it perfectly, Bob. Game on the line, playoff game on the line. Who do I want as my 2 outside linebackers? I want James Harrison and Woodley in a playoff game. And they just were so good. I know I don't want to readdress this from last week, but I still think James Harrison is the best outside linebacker we've ever had. And you throw Woodley in there, who's a great Robin to his Batman, and I think that's the best duo. And believe me, there was no more favorite linebacker core than Lloyd and Green, and a couple of guys we're going to talk about in a minute, and Brown and Kirkland. I love that defense. Loved it. Trent put it great. The numbers are crazy, even more lopsided than I thought they would be. But again, Bob put it perfectly. And it's the same way I feel about Brown and Martavis. For one game or for a stretch of games with those two guys, Harrison and Woodley now, that's the guys I think they're the best duo for me. And second for me would be Lloyd and Green, and third would be TJ and Highsmith for me.
You know, honestly, if I was ranking, and this is going to set off our TJ Watt people, I would put them fourth because I feel like
Oh, no.
Jason Gildon and Joey Porter were a better duo than TJ and Alex.
I hadn't thought about them. I love me some Joey Porter.
Ooh, that's a
I
good one.
love me some
That is another
Peasy.
good duo. Holy fuck. We could have ran
Yeah,
quads with this.
TJ's so good that he might overshadow.
Alex is extremely overrated. I mean, he really is, and I think that's the part where I could get on board with what some of the stuff you guys are talking about with the TJ and Alex duo. It's hard because TJ carries so much of this, and he's still right there in line with like Harrison and Woodley, that it's hard to turn him away. But I mean, Alex is extraordinary. He's had one. Let's be honest. He's had one season with more than 7 sacks. One.
Yeah.
That's it. And I get it. All the advanced analytics, all the pressure, win rate, and the blah. I don't give a shit. If the quarterback's not going down on the ground, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're not disrupting the pass or getting your hand on the ball, if you're not stripping the ball, like, it doesn't matter. The win rate shit is just garbage to me. That is made up stuff PFF came up with so they can try to sell their numbers. But at the end of the day, he's had one season with more than 7 sacks. And TJ really does carry this duo completely.
Yeah.
And Gildon was a very good pass rusher in his day, too.
I actually looked it up. I've been saying that, hey, they passed LC Greenwood, TJ, and Cam. They actually passed. I didn't realize this. I forgot. Jason
Gildon was first at one point. Yeah.
Yeah, he passed LC Greenwood first.
Yeah.
Very
Gildon
underrated
was the sack leader
career.
for his team for a while.
Yeah, very, very underrated career.
And Joey Porter Sr. was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
In his peak, too. So that's a good duo, too. They might, because of what Trent said and the way Highsmith brings that duo down, they might be fourth in that list.
And for those, if you're Alex Highsmith fans in the chat, he doesn't suck. But compared to some of these other guys we're talking about,
names that we've been throwing around,
yeah, he's not an all-timer yet. He could be, but not yet.
All right, running back duos. Let's do this next. Franco Harris and Rocky Blyer, Barry Foster and Bam Morris, or Jerome Bettis and Fast Willie Parker. Bob, you want to go first on this one? Oh, Dave, you haven't gone first yet. You go first.
Yeah.
I don't know. Barry Foster and Bam Morris, I remember them from the 90s, and I just remember how good they were. But, man, when you really look it up, I mean, their careers did not last very long. Bam Morris never eclipsed 1,000 yards, not once. And I think that Barry Foster had that one season where he led the league with 1,600 yards. You and I were talking about Dave. But, I mean, when you look at Franco Harris and his career, a career of 12,000-something rushing yards, and Blyer, being the guy behind him and what he did. And, I mean, Blyer even had a longer career than Bam and Barry Foster and longer than Willie Parker. And, I mean, this is despite 2 years of military service. He served his country. Imagine if he didn't do that as well.
And half a foot.
Well, I'm sorry, say again, Bob.
He was injured in that.
Foot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so just imagine like coming back from that and being able to do what he did. Bettis almost carries that duo, but for me, it's Franco and Blyer. I can't get past what they accomplished. It's incredible.
So rank the three.
Oh, it'd be Blyer and Franco, then Jerome Parker, and then I go with Barry Foster and Bam Morris.
I kind of agree with Dave. I don't have much to add to this. It's tough because Franco Harris is so good. It's so much better than everybody else on this list.
Incredible.
That it kind of skews it. And Jerome Bettis was awesome in his time in Pittsburgh. He really was. Bam Morris was one of my favorite running backs in the 90s. He was a lot of fun to watch. He was huge. What did he play at, Bob? Like 260? Something like that? He was a big guy. Bam Morris?
He wasn't quite as big as Bettis. So, it looked like he was big like Bettis, but
it seemed like he was.
To shoulder pads.
But you look at it, he did play 250, 260, but then you look at Bettis and you wonder, hey, did Bettis really play at 300?
He was bigger than the whole offensive line. Hell yes, he was 300.
So I'd go Franco and Blyer, then Bettis and Parker, then the last two. Barry Foster was just one season. It was a great season, but then he tailed after that. He didn't eclipse 1,000 yards after that one season. So
Somebody put relics comment up.
This one?
No, it was the one before that. Two before that, I think. His number one. There it is.
Yeah. CPAT Najee.
CPAT and Najee. Oh Lord, is that the worst running back tandem? No, probably not.
No, there's
Close.
worse ones than that.
I feel like Somber should be here to put out the CPAT thing, though.
Yeah.
I'll let Trent close out. I mean, it's Franco and Blyer. They both had 1,000 yards. They had 4 Super Bowls. They were a great tandem. Franco, to me, is the most important offensive player in Steelers history, and I could make an argument between him and Joe Green for the most impactful Steeler of all time. You know, Franco, they were great. They were just great. Now, look, Bus and Willie Parker. Willie Parker does not get enough love, in my opinion. I'd rather have Willie Parker than Le'Veon Bell. So yeah.
Oh no.
Wow. The Steelers have only won 2 playoff games since Willie Parker was not the lead back. That's how good.
And they only won 2 playoff games with him, right? The playoff game of the Super Bowl.
He was their number 1 back the whole 2005 to 2010 to the Green Bay Super Bowl. They were great during that 5-year period. Willie Parker, undrafted free agent, comes in, but you look at his seasons, his peak, not only is he putting up 1,000-yard seasons, he is, I will go to the house more than anybody else in Steelers history, including Franco. So I really like that duo. And I wouldn't go so far as to say 1A, 1B, but I wouldn't want to live on the difference between Franco and Rocky Blyer. Hey, you got to move you to week. You got his foot blown off. You want a Purple Heart. I mean, and he comes back and plays NFL football and rushes for 1,000 yards. It's hard to go against that. I mean, I have a Rocky Blyer jersey. I've had one for a long time. It's one of my favorite guys ever. But at the same time, Bam Morris and Barry Foster, I would have thrown it out there. I'd rather have Merrill Hodge and Frank Pollard.
I don't know about that one.
No, I don't know.
Hey, look, the 80s were a slim time, and those guys helped engineer 2 pretty dramatic playoff wins that we were not even supposed to be in the game.
Didn't James Conner and Le'Veon Bell play on the same team for 1 year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a
rookie year.
Yeah, that's a pretty good duo.
That's not bad.
All right, Trent.
All right. So I got Franco and Rocky as my top group. I think maybe I'm not going to roll through every single statistic. The thing that jumped out to me is they had 3,581 yards receiving between the two of them.
I did see this, yes.
Whereas Jerome Bettis and Willie Parker were the next closest with 2,146. That's a pretty significant gap in an era, again, where they weren't really passing the football. So you're talking about 70s football versus kind of the late 90s, early 2000s. That's significant difference. So I definitely took 2 Hall of Fame guys again. It's kind of the same argument that you go against with Stallworth and Swann. Like, it's hard to go against 2 Hall of Fame guys. Bettis and Parker were the next group by far. And then somewhere about 40 notches down is Barry Foster and Bam Morris. Because, listen, these 2 had 7,752 rushing yards, which was literally half of Franco and Rocky Blyer. Literally half.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
But shockingly, still above Najee and CPAT.
Yes. And they also came in with a stiller half of the number of touchdowns between the 2 of them, too. So, sorry, fellas.
Maybe we should put a Bell and Connor in that instead.
For 1 year,
I think it's hard because Bell was not very good his rookie year.
And the only reason why Connor had that big year his second year is because Le'Veon sat out the entire season. So.
Yeah. But, I don't know. All right, we got one last one here. Let me go back to my note. Inside linebackers. Chad Brown and Levon Kirkland versus James Farrier and Larry Foote. Ooh, we going here.
This is tough.
Who wants to go first? Everyone's got
Yeah,
All right. I'll give you
Go
two
ahead, Craig.
stats that seal this one away for me. 98.5 sacks versus 60.5 sacks, 17 interceptions versus 1 interception, 33 forced fumbles versus 28. It's Chad Brown, LaVon Kirkland.
yeah. I'm looking right now, and goddamn, LaVon Kirkland was something else at his size too.
It's one of my
At the-
favorite steals
at-
of all time.
At
bro.
the inside linebacker position, at his size, to do what he fucking did, dude. Jesus.
And we interviewed him. He was on the verge of Super Bowl MVP if Pittsburgh beats Dallas that year because he had a monster Super Bowl.
Is this
monster
right?
Super Bowl.
He got Defensive Player of the Year in '97 and '98.
Who's this? LaVon Kirkland? No.
I got.
can't be right.
It says in awards here on the stat thing. DPO. Oh, maybe he got 3rd place and 6th place because there's a 3,
Yeah,
and then the other one
maybe.
has a 6 to him. So top
Maybe.
3 Defensive Player of the Year in the one year, and then top 6 in the other. That's still pretty good.
I mean, he would drop back into coverage at 275 pounds and be effective.
Yeah.
LaVon Kirkland. And then Chad Brown, didn't he have double-digit sacks one year I was looking at? He had
13 and
13?
96. Yeah.
Yeah, those 4 linebackers together. You think that's the best 4 the Steelers have ever trotted out there at one time?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking.
And you're talking about Lambert and Ham.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's not even a shadow on the
Well,
pimple of the ass
I'm
of
not-
Lambert, Ham,
I'm
and
not-
Russell.
Yeah, Dave, how dare you? Dave, how dare you?
I was
compare
hedging 'cause
somebody
I-
to that
all right,
70s Steelers. What the fuck are you doing? How dare you?
It's tough.
No.
You're right. I mean, Jack Lambert and Jack Ham and Andy Russell are pretty good.
I
But
mean, what are we
those
doing?
4,
What? God forgive us.
I know.
Yeah.
Look,
And now, if you're talking about 3-4, okay, now we're in the argument.
Yeah, let's do 3-4 in the
As
more
long as
modern
we
era.
exempt the.
for Bob's sake, 3-4, please.
I don't see how
Yeah, it definitely
anybody
is.
could
There was
ever
no
argue
question.
against that linebacking crew. I mean, come on, just two Hall of Famers and a guy who should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's
Better
that's
than Devo. Wasn't Faria and
Foot
on that-
Farrier, Debo,
Debo
and Willie.
Willie? Yeah, that's pretty fucking good too.
It's pretty good too.
Look, it's as
close.
much as I like, LaVon Kirkland. He's also one of my favorite guys. I kind of hold it a little bit against Brown because he only played 4 years.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah,
And
they
then
were
he
4 outstanding years though.
They were good. They
Couple
were
hundred
good.
tackle seasons, right? 13 sacks one year.
Yeah, he had 13 sacks in the year after the Super Bowl. And that was his last year, and then he took the money and got paid. I'm sorry.
Another one where
but-
the Steelers wouldn't pay their players.
Yeah. I might go Farrier and Foot here over them because Farrier was so good. But I got
Farrier
a
was
couple
good.
I got a couple guys who should probably be on the list.
Go ahead.
Shazier and Timmons. It was short-lived
They were
because
good.
of the injury.
Yeah.
They were really good together.
Yeah,
I was going to say, if you're going to hold the longevity against Brown, how can you not hold it against
Yeah.
Shazier for the injury?
yeah,
It,
true.
Brown left of his own accord and went and signed a huge free agent contract, which
Yeah,
I
but-
don't begrudge him. I don't hold it against Leon Searcy that he left after the Super Bowl. But I'm just saying, and
I think-
on it,
Out
Go
of
ahead.
all those, Timmons is a tad below the rest of these people we're talking about. And Shazier was
We only
good, but-
got but didn't we only get like a year and a half out of Shazier? It was a year or 2 years?
No, he played 4 seasons, I think.
4.
I thought he did.
three and a half, really.
He was going
Was it?
into the contract
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. It's horrible.
Yeah, so it's a good call out. Shazier and Timmons were pretty good.
I'll give you another one. Whoever the fuck played next to Kendrell Bell.
Which is
Because
so funny.
If you could put Martavis
Kendra
Bryant,
Bell was pretty fucking good.
if you
No,
could
I'll
put
give you Kendrell
Martavis
Bell.
Bryant on this list,
Kendra
no.
Bell was actually really good.
actual talent, Kendrell Bell might have. I mean, when you talk about guys who played in the era, they will tell you nobody hit like Kendrell Bell. Nobody.
Well,
Yeah,
he
but the problem was he hit himself
Dude.
right out of the league because he didn't never.
my God, his ability to get to the quarterback. It was really good.
Yeah, I mean, he really elevated the Steelers out of that kind of malaise in the Cowher era. It's just too bad he didn't play very long. Same thing with Shazier. If you could put Martavis Bryant, well, at least Shazier had a couple of pros, and he was, he was really good. So,
Yeah.
Went after Brian again.
yeah. I mean, I want to say, didn't Kirkland and Bell play together at the end of Kirkland's career?
They might have. I
They
want to
might
say
have.
yes. And yes, I think you're right.
I feel like there
That's
was an
a duo.
overlap there.
I think Chad Brown was better than Kendrell Bell though.
It's tough.
He's better overall player than
I think
I
career,
test,
yes. I think
test,
career,
can't
you're
think
right,
of,
Dave.
Yeah,
Brown
I can't
had,
think of
had a
very much.
long career.
That
even
Rookie of the Year
even using
season,
my peak theory. I think Chad Brown at his peak. I mean, Kendrell Bell, I loved him. Don't get me wrong, but I think
he was really
Chad
good.
Chad Brown could do it all: rush the passer, cover, tackle. He's a good player. He's underrated in Steelers history. He really is.
Yeah. I agree.
but Jerome Bettis will tell you the guy who hit him the hardest ever was Kendrell Bell.
I'm sure.
Yeah, they to the point where Bettis refused to take reps against the first team defense.
Really?
That's why his career was so short. He didn't have an off switch or a slow down switch. It was 100 miles an hour all the time, and he got hurt. What did he last? 4 seasons?
With
Yeah,
I
Pittsburgh.
think it was short.
Kendrell Bell.
Yeah.
It was 4 seasons with Pittsburgh, and then he had 3 seasons after.
Yeah, he kind of hung
Wait, was
around
it-
the NFL.
Can-
but
Did he go to
was never-
Seattle? Or that was Chad
Kansas,
Brown, never mind.
Kansas City.
Kansas City, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
he was never
Kansas
a starter
City.
again, though, was he?
he
He
was never
played.
the same after the injury early in 4.
He had 2 seasons where he started 14 games for Kansas City.
All right. He did start then. All right.
But he you could see he wasn't the same player.
Yeah.
I mean, he just wasn't. That injury at the beginning of the 2004. I'm convinced we would have won the Super Bowl against, because bottom line is Brady. Yeah, good fucking luck. I don't care if you know the plays. Bell is going to kill you. So he wouldn't have got away from Kendrell Bell. He's a big what if to me. He's another guy who's one of my favorite players because he hit like a train. So
Yeah.
So do we all have Chad Brown and Kirkland over Footen?
No, not Bob. I think
Nope,
Bob went the
Bob.
other route.
yeah,
Bob went the other way.
I think I would go Farrier because they won the Super Bowl and Kirkland and Brown lost the Super Bowl, although not
Because of them.
Yeah,
No,
They
because
played
of that.
great. And they played
But
great.
bottom line is they did lose it. And bear in mind, Dallas ran out to a big lead in that game.
True.
Yeah, but they kept Emmitt Smith under 100 yards, which was unheard of back then. I think he had
But
a bunch of playoff games in a row.
at the half, it looked like he was going to get there, but then they
But
shut
they-
him down in the second
Yeah.
half. So they played a
Yeah.
great half of football. I don't dispute that.
Oh, wait, are you telling me that at halftime they made adjustments to stop something?
Imagine that.
Amazing
Imagine
what
that.
happens.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
I'm confused. What are we talking about? That's not Steelers football. Oh,
Not anymore.
oh, shit. They had a game plan? What? All right. That's all I got, unless you guys got anything else. That's
No.
fun. This
Good
is
to
a
go.
fun thing to do. This is a lot of fun. We're in fucking July. There's nothing else to talk about, so this is
Yeah.
a fun topic.
Yeah,
I'm glad
Bob,
we
fuck,
did
you
this.
brought up all these new ones. I wish you'd have saved that shit so we had it for like next year.
Oh no, we were talking about it. We got the
I know.
foursomes.
Don't
We got
say
the
it.
secondary. Yeah.
Yeah, we got some more coming for the next show. Because unless
No more
Omar
ideas
trades
live.
for-
No more ideas live during a pod. Okay? Jeez.
Omar trades for Juwan Jennings in the next couple of days, we'll have to go to our comparisons again.
Nope.
We'll start doing training camps coming up, right? A couple of weeks.
Got to be soon.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
will be the last week I'm training. I'll be back on Thursday starting next week, which happens to be, I think, the second day of training camp.
Sweet.
Nice.
So we should
All right,
have
that's all
all
we got.
kinds of things to talk to by then.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks again for the chat. You guys were great. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ultra GM, sign up. Steelers
Tomorrow.
Sanctuary 25. Yep.
Tomorrow, that's it.
Yeah, this is the last day you can sign up. Steelers Sanctuary 25 for $5 off. It should be a lot of fun. You guys should try it out. Until next time, thanks for listening to Steelers Sanctuary Podcast.
That's all the shit I'm gonna get, motherfucker.
Excuse me. Thank you.
What am I supposed to do?
You are embarrassing yourself here, lads.
Saw that coming.
Wrong, sir. Wrong. Okay, I'll play. You got me.